Morning, everyone. Right now, I am live on Instagram, and I'm also live over here on Facebook and YouTube. Guys, I have just a very quick message that I want to share because I really feel as though God was just confirming this morning what someone else needs to hear. So, artist Pleasure P, I'm going to put it up here on Instagram so I can see the numbers. So, artist Pleasure P. He posted basically talking about like a single parent raising a child, working full time, $14 an hour, bringing home bi-weekly approximately $800 every 2 weeks. Rent is $1,000, electrical 150, car payment 250, car insurance 150. That must be down in Atlanta because in New York that's not the reality. But this is someone's reality, right? So, truth be told, that means you're bringing home about $1,600 every month. And your bills, give or take, are about $1,550. So $1,550. So that means that you are barely going to make it to pay your bills, right? And he brought up a very good point of saying that if this is your reality, anything that happens out the blue, you're really going to be stuck financially. Okay. Now, a few realities that I have witnessed for myself, I have actually been a part of for myself, has been I never had enough money at one point in my life. I didn't have enough money in my savings, right? So there are some people right now, they don't even have $100 in their savings. They're not even able to put away $10 a month or $10 every pay period into their savings. They're struggling financially to make ends meet. So if this is the reality, my question to people is what does happen? What do you do when those crises, those last minute emergencies pop up? Because like I said, this example that he posted on on Facebook, was you're bringing home 1,600 every month, your bills are 1,550, you are left with pretty much $50 every month. Now if your car goes out, a tire, even a used tire in New York City is like $40 to $60, depending on what kind of car you have. So if that happens at the right time, you are probably going to have just enough, or you're probably still not going to have enough money to cover that. So when I started to go through this growing pains, right? 2016 was the year that I went through financially. Financially, I struggled. The place that you see right now, I almost lost this place. Okay. And when I tell people, I was out here, I was applying for jobs, right? But I also was still promoting my book, right? This is one of my books here, Transition to a Healthier You. This book right now is still officially on Amazon as an ebook. But I had to tap into this, right? I also had to tap into making meal prep. So I used to do healthy meal prep for people, make the meals for them. So I'm always in these groups. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and I would ask people, because they'll put out there, they're struggling, they don't have any money. And I'm like, all right, so what gift or talent can you use to help you make money? What gift or talent can you use to help you make money? I'm going to say that again. What gift or talent can you use to help you make money? When we start to realize that we have gifts and talents that God gave us, God gave this to you from the moment that you was in your mother's womb, all right? And he said, I am going to give you this gift because you have to give it to the world. It doesn't mean you have to give it to the world for free. We have to give it to the world, and you can still make money from that. And it doesn't have to be this whole big, you can become a millionaire, but he gave it to us for times as this. Do you understand me? He gave us these gifts for times such as this. He gave me the gift and talents so that, yes, I wasn't able to make everything, but I still was able to make mortgage payments. I still was able to, every other week, pay T-Mobile back then to pay my cell phone bill. And I still had to keep thinking about God gave me these gifts. So when I have these gaps, I'm not struggling. And then if I start to be proactive, right? Think about that word proactive. A lot of us are not being proactive in our finances. Come on now. A lot of y'all are not being proactive in your finances. This is why a lot of us are struggling, because we're not being proactive in our finances. We're waiting till the emergency pops up in order for us to start addressing the problem. We stop thinking this way and we start going forward and saying, all right, winter time is coming. If you are a homeowner, you need to start thinking come March. Start planning for the next winter. All right, I got to make sure that I have enough money in my emergency funds because next winter, the boiler, or AC units. You always have to think ahead. And when people are living literally paycheck to paycheck, and I love Dr. Lynn Richardson, she says, some of us are not even living paycheck to paycheck. You living paycheck to Monday, okay? You are living paycheck to Monday. Your paycheck ain't even making it to the next Friday. It's going to make it to that Monday. You get paid on Friday. You sit here. You pay your bills over the weekend. You might go out to brunch to celebrate with your girls for a minute. And then guess what? Monday pops up and you don't have enough money to get through the next paycheck. So this is a reality. And when I realized, God, I don't have to live in lack. You gave me tools, you gave me resources, and I am going to utilize them. So I'm going to share a real true story. 2019, I was scheduled to go speak at a women's conference down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to everyone I know down in North Carolina, down in Charlotte. How are you? I'll be back down there soon once things get into alignment. I was supposed to go speak at a women's event. My flight kept getting delayed. To this day, no one can tell us why they kept delaying these flights, right? The flight kept getting delayed like drastically, and to the point they just canceled the flight. I remember, because I was off that entire week, I remember I went to Miami early part of the week and I came back and I was just like, let me do something. Like I was getting antsy. So I signed up for Uber Eats. Okay, let me go do Uber Eats. So I did Uber Eats. I signed up and I think they accepted me in about, I want to say 12 hours. I was approved. And I remember going out that Thursday night to try it out. And I probably did like 3 trips, probably made like $30. Nothing crazy. But I tried it. Okay. The next day, Friday was the day that they canceled the flight. So now I'm like totally pissed. But instead of me sitting in my anger, instead of me sitting in my frustration, I got my behind in my car and I went and I did Uber Eats. So I'm making this money. The money is happening. I think by the end of Friday night, because I think I probably worked on and off that Friday. And I probably had about almost $200. Saturday, same thing. Probably, I like to do the morning crowd, right? So this is one thing I always tell people: do what you can and do it within the confines of what you desire. I don't like a lot of people, right? I don't like a lot of crowds, so I like to do the morning rush because somebody out there is ordering pancakes for their kids on a Saturday or Sunday morning, and Tanisha's going to deliver it to you. I have no problem doing that, right? But let me tell you what happened on Sunday. Can I tell you what happened on Sunday? Sunday morning, I wake up and my toilet is flushing. Good morning. My toilet is just flushing. It's just flushing. It's just flushing. And I'm like, yo, why is my toilet flushing? What is going on in my toilet? I go, and now I start to realize the bowl is starting to rise really fast. And I was like, oh, wait, this is a little crazy. I'm a homeowner. And because I'm a homeowner, if anything was to happen, anything with my floors, I got to pay for that. So I quickly called the super because I live in a building. So there's a super. I called him and I was like, yo, can you come check this toilet out? He came like 2 minutes. He was like, I got to replace this piece and I need to do it right now. I was like, how much? That's all I'm worried about. And he was like, it's going to cost about $200. And I'm making a face like, what? When he came with the piece was about this. It was a small piece, but it was $200. Now, at that time, I won't even lie, 2019, again, this is where I'm starting to get the wisdom from God. I'm starting to put these principles into practice. So I probably had a little bit in my savings, but I didn't have enough that I was comfortable to part $200 with. But I'm a homeowner and I have to part with this $200 because if I don't part with this $200, I'm going to have $1,000 problem when I got to now replace these floors. So you got to think about which problem to fight. Do you know the beautiful thing was that I did not have to take anything out of my savings? Where did I go to? I went to my Uber Eats account. I cashed out. I paid $50. I think I paid a 50-cent fine. It's like a fine for cashing out early. 50 cents? No problem. Cashed out, money was in my account. Told the man, go ahead, fix the toilet. He fixed my toilet in about 2 minutes. Problem was solved. Do you know the beautiful part of not having to sit and stress because I'm worried about, do I have enough money in my checking account to cover this? Do I have enough money in my savings account to cover this? If I pay for this, I didn't have to stress about anything. Why? Because I started to become proactive in my finances. When you start to become proactive in your finances, you don't have to worry about those types of things. When we become proactive in our finances, when those emergencies come, normally your blood pressure is going to rise. My blood pressure was normal. Can I tell you? I'm going to tell you one more testimony. Can I tell you? My truck was stolen November 2020, the week before Thanksgiving. They stole my truck. Okay? I was mad. I was mad about the whole act of them stealing my truck. I came to terms before the insurance company told me, because they found the car, they found the vehicle, and then the guy kind of found out that the person who stole it, he damaged it. I had came to terms already, and I was like, God, my car's totaled. They're gonna total it out. Now, all I'm thinking about is how much are they gonna give me. So I'm just kind of like trying to do the math in that aspect. And because in 2020, I started to tap into all of my gifts. So 2020, and I tell people, 2020 was a bad year for many people. But 2020 was a blessing for me. Okay? Good morning. 2020 was a blessing for me. Because 2020, I got out my own way. 2020, I tapped into my gifts. In 2020, I understood that God gave me something very unique and that I had to look at it from a unique standpoint in order for me to be successful. Okay, y'all following me? So whereas most people were struggling financially in 2020, my income went up. My net profit went up. I tapped into gifts that was helping me to put money in the bank, pay stuff off. I started 2020 in a credit score of the very low 500s. And I ended 2020 in the 600s. And I checked my FICO last night, and my FICO is a 699. Do you understand what I'm talking about? But back to this truck. So my car's stolen. They totaled it out. Now I need a new vehicle. Because now I'm accustomed to being back on the road, and I can't. MTA does not go my way. Do you know the beautiful part of just walking into a dealership on your lunch break? I want that right there. Here's what I have. Loan went through. Here's the agreed to payments. Only thing I had to just stress to them is this loan, a penalty loan if I pay it off early. That's all that I kept stressing. I was comfortable with the payment, but I went into strategy mode already because I understood that at that time, I was back to a normal, salary, back to a normal net income. That normal income could cover that car note. It wasn't going to stress me out. But I went into strategy mode. Why? Because I didn't have a car note for like 6 years. The point is not to have more bills. The point is to try to have as least amount of bills, have as little debt as possible. So that means that we got to get into this mindset of what can I do? What gifts can I use in order for me to pay this off and not have to continue to struggle and live paycheck to paycheck? So I remember at the beginning of 2021, literally, I think maybe 3-4 weeks after I bought my car, I got an offer for an adjunct professor at a small online college. And I was like, I got bet, game is on. I'm thinking that's what God sent to cover this. So if I would have had that consistently, I would have been able to pay off the car in a year, right? So I'm looking at this number. I'm like, they're saying, I think it was like a 5-year loan or 3-year loan, something like that. In my mind, I'm like, we're trying to get this paid off in 12 months. Like I'm trying to leave this loan in 2021. That didn't even pan out. God was like, you think that's what I sent you? God sent me there to show me something else. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So another opportunity came, similar to that came in 2020, using my gifts, using my talents, not really taking a lot out of me. Financially, not stressed, mentally, not stressed. It was a very easy opportunity. I was able to pay my truck off. Well, it's not really a truck. I was able to pay my new vehicle in 3 months. So here I am planning for 12. God is like, because you're going to listen and follow what I'm telling you, we're going to take that 12-month plan, we're going to shorten it to 3 months, because I use my gifts and my talents that God instilled in me. So I still have my regular paycheck that's still paying the regular bills. But now what I was planning to pay in a car note, I started to strategize. And I'm like, God, I got to smarten up. I got to smarten up. I got to make sure that I keep building the savings, because we never know. I also got to start thinking about how can I pay off loans. So one of my main loans is my mortgage. And so I'm starting to do research. If I pay an extra $100 a month, how much money can I save in interest? If I pay an extra one, these are conversations that our community is not having. When we start talking like this, people start to shy away. They don't want to hear this because it feels like it's too much work. But when I say to you, when I tell people constantly and constantly, when I ask you, what do you have? What gift, what talents do you have that can help you to generate additional income that you can start to use right now, that can help you to bridge that gap, that can help you to put money into that savings? Like I said earlier, most people don't have $100 in their savings, let alone $1,000 in their savings. And some people can't even put $10 a month into their savings. So if that's your reality, then what are you willing to do? What are you willing to tap into in order for you to meet that bridge, to meet that gap? Because that's all that it is. Sometimes you're going to wait longer for that job to come through. There are people out here that are waiting months for a new job to come through, and they still have bills today. So what are they going to do in order for them to make that? And so when I bring up these conversations, and again, I'm going to really break this down. Like I said yesterday on my Facebook page, I know God's purposed me just to teach. And I can't teach just one thing and only get stuck in one thing. There's a lot of different things that God speaks to me about. And it's just because there's a lot of wisdom out there that people are not meeting. There are some of you right now, you need an extra $100 a month. The extra $100 a month could save your life. And when I say, go do Uber Eats, sign up to be an Uber Eats driver. A lot of you can't do that. You want to know why? A lot of people can't do Uber Eats. And the reason why a lot of people can't do Uber Eats is because you're in a contract, a long-term car rental contract that has stipulations that tell you that you cannot, and I stress that you cannot make extra money. I mean, you cannot make extra money because you can't go over your miles. Because if you go over your miles at the end of your contract with them, you're going to owe them more money. Anything that God gives us access to is supposed to be a blessing. So if you are in a lease contract for a car and you need extra income and you can go get in your car and make some deliveries to make more money, then that means that is not an asset. That's a liability. See, my car is an asset. On top of the fact that right now, if you guys are not paying attention, right now, used cars are in demand. Right now, the value of my car that I purchased in December 2020, it has gone up. It goes up. Why? Because the demand has gone up for used cars. Okay? And then on top of that, if I needed to make money right now, I can get in my car right now and go make a couple of $100s. If I don't want to do that, if I still want to stay in my house, I teach Excel. I support faculty at any college that needs help on how to use the LMS platforms such as Blackboard, Canvas. I tap into the gifts and the skills that God has given me. And when I do that, it brings the value. Okay? It brings the value up. Yes, God had me up this morning. He had me up this morning. I mean, girl, he had me up this morning. He was just speaking. And then when I saw Pleasure Peace post, it was just even more confirmation. That's why I was like, I got to get up. I got to get on Facebook. I got to get on Instagram. I got to put this message out. That means that someone needs it, because it was just like, right? You was in a car accident, couldn't do Uber, right? So then that means if you are in an accident, you can't do Uber, what else can you do that's going to help you make money? Right? Uber is just one way. What can you teach? I always say everyone can teach something. If anyone out there know how to do makeup, I'll pay you, because I don't know how to do a lick of makeup besides putting on some lip gloss. That's as much as you're gonna get. Okay, I can fill in these eyebrows once in a while, right? But see, God is confirming to you that you need to get back in that car, and that you need to do that, right? And I understand, like, it's so many times that we delay things, right? We sit and we think about the problem. We think about the problem. Think about the problem, right? Trust me, I don't like my car. I'm not a fan of my car. Everyone who knows me closely, they were like, you always complain about this car. But I'm blessed. I'm thankful to have it, right? But instead of me, I for like a few weeks, even though I was able to pay this car off, I still was sitting here like, every time I saw a Dodge Durango, I had an attitude. Every time, like, they stole my truck. Just mad. They stole my truck. How you gonna steal my truck? That was my baby. Instead of being thankful of the blessings, thankful for the stress-free transaction. Again, that was the most stress-free transaction. Like, I walked out of there feeling like $1 million. I felt like I had $1 million in my account. I felt like I just got a 2021 car that day, because I didn't have the stress, because I was being proactive in my finances. Right? So when we are proactive and those emergencies pop up, they need $100, they need $1,000. All right, cool, whatever. Let's go. And I have that attitude now. Okay, whatever. Because I'm able to make it. What? You have 3 parties booked? Come on now. Come on now. There you go. Right? Uber Eats can be a stream, and it's a great stream. But what God really wants us to do, use that to fund that business. Use that to fund what you need, right? I do Uber Eats once in a while and DoorDash to fund my website, right? I just had to pay a virtual assistant last night. I needed my website updated. Now, I could have sat and I could have figured it out. I could figure it out. But I don't want to. It's too much work. God's like, I gave you the resources to pay for this, so that you don't have to stress out about it, because he knows my stress levels. I can't handle stress well. See, God knows us better than anyone. He knows us better than we know ourselves. So some of us, you might just be working that extra for now, Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever it is, so that when it's time for you to invest in your business, you can start to delegate some of that, because he doesn't want you stressing about the small details. Those little fine details, he doesn't want you stressing about those details. So he wants you to be able to say, because now what you're doing is you are investing in the whole development of purpose, okay? Because if that person is sitting there making themselves available to use their gift of web designing, you're now blessing that person's business, okay? And when you're blessing that person's business, you are now being part of purpose. I'm telling y'all, we got to get ahead of this. We got to get proactive. We have to get proactive, right? This weekend, I will be going live in my Trailblazers group, because we're going to talk more about this. A couple of months ago, I did a teaching, Inspirational Trailblazers Lifestyle Group, about passive income. I recently did a workshop about affiliate marketing. That I'm going to do a replay of that. So anyone, stay tuned on my Facebook page. I'm going to replay that teaching today. I'm gonna have a replay, I think 12 o'clock. The affiliate marketing teaching that I did a couple of weeks ago. You don't even got to go back to look for it. I'm gonna have a replay 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in my Trailblazers group, we're gonna talk deeper about this. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can see at the bottom, it says TanishaShanae.com/hello. You can go there, sign up. It is $10 a month. And I'm telling you, and this is information that people, it's how did I put it a couple of weeks ago? It's like you're open, it's like it's blindly in your face, right? There are certain things that is there, but we don't want to see that. Morning, Tamara. There's information that is there, but we don't want to see that. Now, I'm going to bring it to you. You join that lifestyle inspirational group. I'm telling you, you're going to, because I don't want us to get stuck. I don't want money to be a factor. I don't want us stressing, getting our health all out of loop and all out of whack because we're worrying about how can I pay this and my job isn't paying me enough. Because see, the example that Pleasure P put up in that post was a salary, right? It was a salary. It was an hourly. See, that hourly mother, she can work extra hours and she can get paid. But salary employees, we work extra. Yeah, we don't get paid. This is why people ask me, why did you say you left a full-time job, a permanent job for a contract? Yeah, because I'm getting paid exactly what I put out. I get paid for per project, right? I don't see things the way people see it anymore, and that's okay. But I want people to always know there's always options. There's always another way. There's always another way. When we start thinking, we start realizing that there's always another way. So I am Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. I'm so happy that you spent some time with me this morning. I hope this message has encouraged you. Hope it has inspired you. Press share. Someone needs this message. Someone needs to be inspired to start thinking outside of the box, to stop looking at their finances as a problem and start looking at it as, what can I do to solve this? Okay. And like I said, if you're interested, Inspirational Trailblazers Lifestyle Coaching Group is definitely open. It is available. It is a place for like-minded individuals that are looking to devise a healthy lifestyle with purpose, on purpose, and all that we do. And we're not talking about healthy lifestyle. We're talking about your finances, your spiritual growth, your emotional, your mental, every aspect of your life. Anything that your life entails, that's a part of your lifestyle. So I am Tanisha Shanae. Have a great one. I'll see you guys soon. Look forward for that 12 o'clock teaching. I'm going to have that replay playing. Sorry, Instagram is going to be on YouTube or Facebook. So for those of you watching a replay on Instagram, head over to my YouTube channel. Have a great one, guys. Be well, be blessed.